Unfortunately, I'm not the most emotional person, so this is going to be pretty straightforward like Fernando. And I'm sure Bethany is probably going to take care of that all right.
Excuse me.
Okay. Basically, when I first came to JSA, I didn't speak a lot. I didn't debate at all my freshman year, and only like once my sophomore year. I didn't do much. And for those of you who know me now, I do speak more, I speak better, and I've learned how to write notes and everything and speak in a debate setting. Of course, the one thing is that JSA really opened me up to a lot of new ideas, especially during these first few years. I'm a Republican, conservative Republican, and in a mid-Atlantic state area JSA convention, it's very hard to be there because there's a lot of ideas being thrown out there that I want to argue with, but I really wasn't a very avid speaker during my first freshman and sophomore year. But I think I got better, much better this year, definitely. Junior year, I spoke a lot more too. And JSA has really helped me. Also, with JSA, I get to go to a lot of places and meet a lot of people that I would never meet in any other circumstance. I especially like visiting Princeton just for the atmosphere, even though I'm never going to go there. It's really nice to, sometimes when we have breaks, like this year, Matt and I walk down the campus just to see all the smart people, but not see who was there too. I'm sorry. Just walk out and see all the smart people. That will never be one day. Also, the overnight trips are definitely fun. A lot of crazy stuff happened in the hotel rooms during the night. Nothing illegal though. Don't worry about that. But we definitely had what? We definitely had a lot of fun. But you know, all safe. Don't worry about that. Also, I was allowed to visit Japan, which was definitely the best thing that happened in JSA for me. But I'm not going to elaborate too much on that because that's only a select group, so I don't want to tell you. There's a lot of stories from there, but I'm not going to go into that. Also, a big deal is that this is a very small group of people that gives a whole JSA with obviously a lot of good ideas themselves, but when I get to these big conventions, I always notice there's some very smart people there, and they really inspired me because I see them throw out these terms and like historical facts when they're debating, and I have no idea what's going on, and that makes me a better person because I research that later, or I try to figure out from someone around me. Sometimes they don't know, and then I'm able to speak better later myself by learning what they do. Okay. During my first few years, there was a lot of upperclassmen. We had a lot of talented upperclassmen that I learned from. People like, and I'm going to mention him first because he's actually here today, Ahmed, who was a very avid speaker who one time asked a question to someone that lasted about 2 minutes, and it wasn't a question, he just yelled at them. And on many other occasions, he just started yelling when he was debating. But he has a lot of good points, and he was definitely persuasive. Okay, there's also people like Tom Abramowitz, Shivan, Sean Segupta, Shino, all you remember. And even Doug, who when he wasn't trolling, was actually pretty good. Was actually a good speaker. Also, of course, I have to mention the advisors. Miss Z, always making sure that we're following the rules at all times and staying in line. While meeting her at JSA was definitely good for the first freshman sophomore year because I would never have her until calculus junior year, and it definitely helped me to prep for her kind of style. So that was a big plus, getting to know Miss Z, because it's much better if you're Miss Z's friend. Also, of course, Mr. Gen does so much for the group. He helps out. You know, obviously he runs basically everything, and he's one of the only other Republicans I know here. So Mr. Gen has always been
conservative.
Conservative Republican. Yeah, really. Has always been my conservative Republican rock in the big sea of Democrats that is Mid-Atlantic, JSA. No problem. I thought about that for a long time. Okay. Of course, my fellow seniors here, we've definitely come down to a very small group at this point. Just 5 of us. And we've all had good times. I'm not going to elaborate too much. That's going into a long time. But, you know, I'll miss you all, but we'll stay in touch. Don't worry about that.
Oh, that was something.
Don't worry, I'm not going to cry. Okay. Of course, having such natural talent that I do, I've been such an excellent mentor to these young kids here. And, what? Kush, especially those dance moves. Okay. And a few of them I'm going to mention, the important ones, because everyone... These are ones that I know the best, at least. I've obviously got to leave people out because there's a lot of people here. I've had a lot of fun with Bashoy, Kush, Abu, Vito, Luch, Nick, and Maya. All of you have been good friends throughout this JSA time. Woo! Okay. Basically, the JSA has made me a better speaker, a better person, and I'll never regret having to wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning for winning Congress.